What's up, everybody? Kyle here at Let's Talk Wax with the top 10 highest selling autos from 2023 Bowman Chrome. The release has been out for about a week now, and I'm also going to be applying a Let's Talk Wax rank to all 10 of these top selling autos, so you guys can decide which players you want to sell. Now, at the end of this video, I am also going to show you guys opening day comps versus this week's comps, a 7-day span. You're going to see how drastically the prices do fall off with some of these guys after release, so some really important data there. And I've also got my top 25 autographs in this release video linked in the video description. But without further ado, let's jump into the top 10 highest selling autographs in 2023 Bowman Chrome. We're going to kick this video off with Luis Lara with a $65 comp at number 10. He's a Let's Talk Wax rank of 2.5, an outfielder in the Milwaukee Brewers organization, and he does have a pretty significant hit tool, but he's yet to tap into a ton of power. Now, like I said before, if you guys want to get a complete breakdown in detail of all the players on this checklist, I did do a top 25 video, so be sure to go check that out. But at number 10, we've got Luis Lara with the Milwaukee Brewers. At number 9, we've got Brayan Guerrero, who's one of the lowest ranked Let's Talk Wax rankies on this list, but he does have about a $130 refractor auto. Now, the problem is I don't have any comps for base autos. I haven't seen a sale of a base auto for Brayan Guerrero yet, so I'm assuming he is refractor and up. And if you divide refractors by 2, it usually gives you pretty close to base value. So he's going to be right around $65, putting him at number 9. At number 8, we've got Kain Delgado with the New York Yankees. He's a shortstop, and he's a guy who has a pretty significant speed power ceiling. I had hoped he was going to be kind of a sleeper in this product because he was going to be one of the guys that I would chase, but his comps are pretty high for me right now, right around $70. He's had a sale for 73 and a sale for 70. Those are the most recent comps, and he's a Let's Talk Wax rank of 1.5. He is a bit old for the level he's played at, but he does have, like I said, a very significant speed power ceiling. He can steal bases and hit for a bit of power, and being a Yankee, it's always going to increase his value. Another Yankee breaking in the number 7 spot, Brando Maya. Now, he does have the name Brandon on his cards, but that is incorrect. It was a flaw coming out of the printing press from Topps. Now, his comps are right around $85. I saw a sale today for $93 and one also for $75. So there is a significant difference between sales. So you may be able to find some cards of his for cheap at around $75. But I wouldn't go much past 75. The one sale for 93 did seem like kind of an outlier, but they were the most 2 recent comps that I could find. Now, Maya is a rank of 2.5 for me on the Let's Talk Wax ranking system. And if you didn't in the video, the front of the video, you could take a screenshot of the Let's Talk Wax ranking system because I do use it for a lot of my content. It's always safe to keep that on hand. And a 2.5 is in between MLB Organizational Star and MLB Above Average Regular. And that is their ceiling, which means it would be their best possible outcome playing to their best ability as a prospect. At number 6, we've got Arius, who had a blowout year in the DSL this season, but I do tread lightly on DSL stats, something that I did talk about a little bit more in-depthly in my top 25 video. I've seen a lot of players put up excessive numbers in the DSL, then kind of fall off coming stateside. Yasser Mercedes is a good comparison for me. He's blew out the DSL in 2022. He came stateside this year in 2023 and just put up really mediocre numbers, leaving a lot of people wondering, what's going on with Yasser Mercedes. He was one of the bigger chases out of 2022 Bowman Chrome that had some significant stats in the DSL. So I do tread lightly on DSL stats, but Arius put up some mega numbers. And like I said, there's a more in-depth breakdown of all these guys over on my top 25 video. The link to that video is in the description, but he's just about a $100 auto. He's fluctuated between $90 and $100, and with most of his sales, his top 2 most recent are $90 and $102, so that puts him right in the $95 range. He's a Let's Talk Wax rank of 1.5, but that could change drastically, like I said, once he comes stateside and plays in America. Now, if you guys are into Bowman Chrome baseball cards and you want to help support the channel, be sure to check out my Patreon page. I'll put a link to it in the video description. I've got autograph checklist breakdowns for every release since 2019, the top 100 Bowman Chrome autos list, and a top 100 Bowman Chrome autos under $50 list, We have an excellent private Discord server with lots of very informative members over there. And I do have my team break guide for 2023 Bowman and my complete checklist breakdown for 2023 Bowman over there available as well, and as exclusive to Patreon. So if you want to help support the channel, be sure to check out the link in the video description. I'm going to throw some $50 range quick hitters at you. Luis Guanipa, Alfredo Duno, and Davison de Los Santos are three guys that are right around $50. Now, the Santos autos, I did see some comps around $26 to $30, which were super cheap for me. He was a 20-year-old. He started the year as a 19-year-old playing in AA, has significant power ceiling, does have some K-to-walk issues, but I do think his autos are super cheap right now. I couldn't believe that he was under $50 a week after release. But these are the three guys who are right in the $50 range and didn't quite have enough of a value to make the top 10 list. At number 4, we've got another 1.5 Let's Talk Wax Ranky coming out of the DSL, Joendry Vargas, with autos comping right around $105, so just a bit more than Arius. Both of these guys had really good years in the DSL in 2023, and I'm not going to backtrack and talk about the DSL stats kind of being askew when they come stateside, but just something to keep in mind when you're spending a lot of money on prospects with small sample sizes, that DSL stats can sometimes be askewed when they come stateside. The biggest bat on this entire checklist, Samuel Basano, is a hitting machine. You can see more about him in the top 25 video, but he's bat first pretty much all the way. He's a catcher slash first baseman defensively. I do think as of right now, based on offensive numbers, he does have a better bat than Ethan Solace. I know Ethan Solace is a huge hype prospect out of this release, but most of his stock has come in the defensive department. He didn't hit very well at high A and double A. He crushed A when he's appropriate. We'll get to Ethan Solace because we all know he's probably going to be number 1. But Basano is one of the biggest bats in this release. He's comping right around $150 right now. And he is a guy that could work into the elite ranking after the 2024 season. You know, the 2023 season is coming to an end, and we're going to be wrapping up a lot of my content. But Basano was one of the most predominant offensive players in minor league baseball in 2023. So definitely a guy to check out, and really somebody to watch to see how far the prices do drop this offseason, because you might be able to pick them up for a little bit cheaper than they are now. Because I really don't think the prices are done settling yet. I still think we have a little bit of ways to go, especially with the offseason coming up and football season starting right now. We have at number 3, Felix Celestin with no stats. He has not played a game since being signed as a free agent by the Seattle Mariners. There is a lot of projection here with Celestin and his physical makeup, a lot of hype built around this guy, but I have a really hard time believing that he's a $170 auto with no offensive stats. So this may be the gambling side of the collectors coming out and wanting to drop this amount of money on a player who has yet to prove anything in the minor leagues. You know, the majority, almost 99% of the scouting that I do is based off a stat line. I do watch some videos. I do try to deep dive into some guys about player makeup, but it's really hard for me to spend any amount of money on a guy who has no stats to date. So if you're a gambling type, Felix Celestin may be the guy for you. If you're not a gambler, I would definitely pool and sell and take the $175 and run. But like I said, he's got no stats, but he is the number 3 highest selling auto on this checklist. At number 2, we've got Zach Gload, who is having one of the best seasons for a rookie in the MLB this year. He is a $250 auto, but he only has speckle autos and up. He does not have base or refractor autos. So he'll have the speckle numbered to 299, and then he'll have the purples numbered to 250 and all the way down the ladder. But this is very interesting because it's going to be very hard to find Zach Gload autos with them being such short prints. There are no base autos, and like I said, there's probably thousands of, and probably 2,000 to 3,000 base autos that guys sign when they put these products out. I've definitely put it in the thousands range, and with no refractors as well. That takes a significant amount. That's probably 15 to 2,000 autos that come off the board without those two being in existence. So speckle and up, he's going to be really difficult to find, and I think that's going to have an impact on his price. Now, if you did kind of dumb it down to a base auto, I think it would be right around the $125 range, but like I said, he doesn't have those autos. So he is a $250 auto. That's the cheapest you're going to find it because it's speckle only. He's a Let's Talk Wax rank of 1.5 because he's already become pretty much a sensation as a rookie at the major league level. So Zach Gload, definitely a guy to watch, but like I said, his autos are going to be harder and harder to find because they are limited print. And of course, at number 1, we've got Ethan Solace, a $350 comp right now. The last 2 comps were right around $350 from the September 20th. They were both sold yesterday. He is the elite only guy on this list that is ranked elite. And like I talked about before, kind of the bat was very good at the level that he was age level appropriate at. So in low A, Ethan Solace at 17 years old absolutely crushed the ball. He's way ahead of his years defensively. He did struggle in double A and high A with the bat, but like I said, the level that he was age appropriate at, he hit very, very well. And like I said, there's a more in-depth breakdown on my top 25 video in the description, but he is an elite ranky for me. He is the most expensive auto on this release, and the opening day number for an Ethan Solace comp was $500. So the person who spent $500 on opening day for the very first Ethan Solace auto already took a $150 bath because his prices are already down into the 350s. And it's just a warning, I'm going to show you guys some really cool data in just a minute about where these guys started, how far they've already dropped after 1 week. But first, we're going to check out Ethan Solace comps versus the next 2 superstars that I think could be in the big leagues. So here we have a quick comparison between Jackson Holliday and Jackson Chourio, 2 of the best players in minor league baseball, I think, by a long shot. Ethan Solace, the only reason I would maybe bump him down to a 1 is because I don't think he's going to be, or he is quite good yet as Jackson Holliday and Jackson Chourio, who are both playing at the AAA level as teenagers and making some waves. And you can see Ethan Solace is a $350 auto right now. Jackson Chourio is at $346. So you're actually betting on Ethan Solace being a better player than Jackson Chourio in minor leagues. But it's only a $4 difference, but it's pretty crazy to think that you can buy a Jackson Chourio auto for the same price as a Solace auto, because Churio's already proved that his bat can stick in the upper minors, and Solace still has a long way to go in that aspect. Now, Jackson Holliday is the front runner by far with a $536 raw base auto, but it's still pretty close in comparison to Ethan Solace. And like I said, Holliday's another guy who's proven his bat in the upper minors as a teenager. So just something to think about before you spend $350 on an Ethan Solace auto. You have 2 elite level prospects who have already proven their worth for similar prices. Now here's the really fun part of this video. I did take comps. Actually, I took the peak price that each one of these autos sold for, and the peak price came within the first or second day after release. And I also put the prices that are current a week after release. So you're going to see how the drop-off starts to occur and why you guys should definitely wait to buy any Bowman Chrome autos at least a week or 2 after release to ensure you're not overpaying, because it's a nice hyped up hot release. And this happens every year, and I finally collected the data to kind of show you guys exactly how bad the drop-offs are. So we already talked about Ethan Solace, whose auto peaked at $500 on day 1 of sales, and now they're currently selling for $350, which is a $150 difference. Zach Geloff, the first Speckle auto sale was $405, and now they're comping for around $250. Celestin autos were $225 on release day, now they're down to $170 already. Basano autos were about $70 more expensive a week ago. Yoendry Vargas at $225 down to $105, over a $100 difference there, which is really crazy. Rainer Arius went from $150 to $95. Brando Maya went from $250 to $85. I think the first couple of sales of Brando Maya autos, this was a buy it now price of the Maya auto, the Maya comp that I did find, but the peak price was $250 and it's already down to $85. Kain Delgado, interestingly, only didn't have a change. His autos were selling for about $70 on release day, and they're continuing to stay steady at $70, which is very interesting to me. Brayan Guerrero, a guy who I've got his Let's Talk Wax rank of 3, his first auto sale, it was a refractor auto, like I mentioned before. The 2 asterisks Geloff only has Speckle and up, and Guerrero only has refractor and up, was $229, and his refractor autos are down to $130. And Luis Lara started at $115, and he's already gone down to $65. So just pay attention to this stat right here. It definitely shows you that you should not be buying week 1. And I may even try to do a video on week 2 or 3 to see how low these prices settle. Because like I said, we are going into the off season, the best time to buy when people are all hopped up on football. And these autos should continue to drop because if there's no baseball being played, a lot of guys aren't worried about it, and some of the collecting community goes into football. But guys like me, we stay with Bowman Chrome all year, so we kind of notice these trends. But it's definitely something to consider. I would never buy an auto week 1 or week 2. I would definitely wait about 2 to 3 weeks to see how low prices settle. As I mentioned before, if you guys want to help support the channel, be sure to check out my Patreon page. I've got a lot of exclusive 2023 Bowman Chrome content over there, along with lots of other stuff to keep you busy. It's only $5 a month and you get a lot of perks. And a quick shout out to everyone who supports me over there. You guys rock. Another shout out to all my level 3 sponsors. If you guys enjoy my videos, please don't forget to subscribe and be sure to check out my top 25 breakdown where I in-depthly break down this product release. Y'all have a great day and happy hunting in your breaks.